yung mga social issues, political issues, hindi siya talaga black and white. It's a spectrum na hindi mo pwede lang i-judge na, ito lang yan. Mali to, tama to. Ang dami na naman naming rally na puntahan na parang walang nangyari. So, merong pagka-jaded, but at the same time, still hopeful. More than mad, it's the sick. It's the no remorse, the no accountability. Yung para bang yun nakakasuka yun. Yeah, ayoko magbayad ng tax. Kung pwede lang. Ang sakit sa bulsa magbayad ng tax. Like, I always wish whenever I pay tax na parang, sana pwede yung ako magsasabi, gusto ko mapunta to sa classroom ng ganyan. Or gusto ko na ito mapunta to healthcare ng ganito. Yung if only we could choose, di ba, where the taxes we pay go. Pero sadly, hindi ganon. I guess sa voting generation namin na-introduce ang sadly lesser evil choice.
Binoto mo ba yung mga taong akala mo gagastusin ang pera natin ng maayos? Alam nyo, sa panahon ngayon, ang bagong marketplace of ideas ay ang social media. Kaya naman, influencers ngayon ang ginagamit sa lahat ng isyong tinatalakay natin. Sila na ngayon ang inaantay kung anong opinion nila. At nasimulan nito, nakita natin ang influence halimbawa ni Vice Ganda, lalo na nung rally, dahil noon pa man ay ginamit na niya ang social media. Pero nananatili pa rin malaking hamon ang paggamit ng platapormang ito para sa mga influencers at lalo na para sa mga users. Kaya ngayon, interviewin natin ang isang long-time influencer on social media na si Bianca Gonzalez. Okay, wala kang katakot-takot sa rally? Dinala mo pa mga anak mo na batang-bata pa, ha?
Yes.
Why?
I remember kasi 2 weeks before September 21, they were already talking about having the rally on the anniversary of martial law. And then at that time, I knew for sure na pupunta ako. I knew for sure na pupunta din yung asawa ko. And I told him, parang we should bring our eldest. Because our eldest is already 9 years old. Naiintindihan na niya yung mga bagay-bagay.
Still very young, though.
Still very young. And then when I told him about it, I said, I think we should bring her para alam niya yung mga nangyayari. We can slowly explain naman sa age-appropriate way. And then he said yes. So I'm grateful na very aligned kami in values. So we asked our daughter, you wanna go with us to a rally with mommy and daddy? It means a lot. We tried to explain. And then una sabi niya no. And I guess she said no kasi hindi naman niya naiintindihan what that is.
Ayun na nga.
Like, di ba, parang ano yan? I just showed her pictures of what it looks like. Why nga naman would she want to go? So, it was a bit of talking to her every day, explaining. We also exposed them to the news that these are the floods. There are some baddies in government who take the money. That's why some people, they have to leave their homes and binabaha yung mga bahay, ganyan. Until trying to explain, we said, you know what, let's tell our 6-year-old about it as well. Our 6-year-old, feeling ko dahil mas bata, okay, mommy, let's go. And so the ate said, okay, fine, I'll go na lang. So we were very intentional in explaining to them every step of the way. Nagman-to-man defense kami at the rally, meaning I had my arm around one daughter, yung asawa ko had our other daughter on his shoulders, meaning talagang bantay, hindi sila mababalyan ng kung sino man. And we really went to that area of Edsa Shrine naman, because generally medyo mas peaceful yung protesters doon. And I guess in a nutshell, it's important to us kasi we want them to grow up understanding love for country and being aware na tayo man, komportable tayo sa bahay, kayo nakakapunta kayong school.
Tama.
Kung may kailangan kayo, kompleto tayo, we get to eat 3 times a day. Hindi lahat ng bata ganon. And so, that's why, as early as now, feeling ko, they're ready for it.
Ikaw, influencer ka. I just wonder, kasi nabanggit mo yung love for country, no? Tanggalin mo yung mga pundits on all sides, ha? Pati yung mga, tawagin na nating mga, sabi nga nila, nanggugulo lang, whoever those are. Ikaw ba, did you ever think into actually doing some political punditing or commentaries on your social media?
I think it started early for me because nung nagsimula ako sa TV, my first ever show was Why Speak.
Oh,
So
yes,
it was
that's right. I remember that show.
Yes, it was a youth-oriented debate show with Karen Davila and Ryan Agoncillo. And dun sa show na yon, laging may issue and then 2 sides na nagde-debate about the issue. And so, very early on, I guess na-realize ko, hindi pa word yung influencer, that's such a new word. That's like what, a 10-year-old term pa lang.
Yes.
So in 2004, I already knew na, sharing my opinion matters. Hindi dahil gusto ko i-impose yung opinion ko sa ibang tao, but whenever I share my opinion, even back then, one is, it would make people think, agree ba ako kay Bianca or hindi ako agree sa kanya? And second, it would make them share their own hot take, kumbaga, on different issues. And nadala ko na yon until now.
Hindi ka natatakot kasi, alam mo, ang daming trolls.
Yes.
Ang daming bashers.
Yes.
And don't you feel harassed every time you speak out for a certain position?
Yeah.
Wala ka bang takot na baka i-cancel ka ng kung anong grupo, and as a result of which, abay mawalan ka ng followers at pati mga endorsements, aminin na natin, di ba?
I think it's because when I started speaking up on social media, so that was early Twitter days, mga 2009, maybe I would say, wala pang cancel culture noon. Ang Twitter at Facebook noon, nagpo-post tayo ng mga, I ate this today. Di ba? The early days of social media. You went here, I ate this. Ganun lang. Parang peaceful, democratic platform where you can just share. And so, I just continued to share because nga, it was important for me, for people to have their own stand on an issue. And I guess hindi ako, parang before cancel culture, I was doing it na. And there was an actual in real life cancel na nangyari. So I believe this was in...
Sa'yo?
Yes. In shocks my memory. I would say 2013, I was doing the morning show on ABS. So syempre morning show, you banter also about social issues. I remember that morning pagpasok ko, merong balita about a dispersal of a informal settler community.
Demolition.
Yes, dyan sa may, parang likod ng Trinoma. It's not as developed as it is now. Basta may demolition na nangyari. That day, parang a few days before, kakabayad ko lang ng buwis in something. And so, syempre, ang aga, tapos mainit ulo ko dahil ang mahal nung buwis, pero hindi naman natin nakikita talaga our taxes going anywhere. And then I see this. So parang I tweeted something like about the informal settlers na bine-baby, that was my term, when in fact they live on prime land that other people pay high taxes for. Parang ganon in a nutshell ang tweet ko. The digital footprint is there. They can look it up. And at the time I tweeted it, yun yung nararamdaman ko at the time, bugso ng damdamin. Grabe talaga. A few hours after, grabe yung kuyog. Kasi, syempre, what a privileged take. At the same time, may point, pero mali lang yung atake, parang ganyan. So, I remember at the time, hindi pa uso cancel culture noon, but grabe yung, kumbaga, judgment online. Mali ka, inaway ako ng mga tao, understandably so. And then, at that time, I remember si Vencer Crisostomo, who I think at the time was Kabataan Party list. We were DM friends na at that time, early days of social media. And then I just reached out and I said, I wanna learn more. How could, can you enlighten me, short of saying?
Why him?
Siya yung nag-reach out kasi meron siyang mga urban poor leader friends in the community who were upset by my statement.
And was he in support of you? I mean, did
No,
you
he
feel
was
that he
not-
was an ally?
He was not an ally. He did not agree with what I said. However, he knew that I was coming from a good place. Hindi ko naman minimean na.
So may ganun naman.
Yes. So meaning those were the days na you can have dissenting opinions, pero
Yeah.
pag-uusapan nyo ng maayos. And
Agree
eto,
to
Bianca,
disagree.
Yes. So what happened was, he actually set up not a lot of people know this story, he actually set up a meeting with some urban poor community leaders in Kasiyahan Street in Quezon City, dito lang. And then parang they just talked to me na parang they're trying to explain, Bianca, ito kasing sitwasyon namin. So mas dun yung turning point na lumawak yung tingin ko na an issue is not just an issue. There are so many things that happened before that issue that you have to understand that it's not necessarily their fault.
So what was your takeaway? I mean,
Yeah.
did that make you take care a little bit more about what you say?
Yes.
But honestly, hindi ka ba na-silence kahit papano?
No, it didn't silence me because at that time, knowing na hindi nakaka-cancel ang tao at that time. Meaning yun nga, imagine to meet with someone
Kasi
who
wala
said
pang
something.
cancel
Yes,
culture.
parang they welcomed me pa to say, oy, ito yung mga kailangan mong malaman.
Oo.
So, one is yes, definitely, I as much as possible, must think before you click ang nangyari pagkatapos nun. But at the same time, dun ko na-realize na yung mga social issues, political issues, hindi siya talaga black and white. It's a spectrum na hindi mo pwede lang i-judge na, ito lang yan. Mali to, tama to. Kasi it's so complicated. Lalo na here in the Philippines.
And what about dito sa issue ng corruption on flood control projects? Tingin mo pa rin ba dyan, black and white?
I guess in this particular case, it's clear na mali. It's clear na kailangan managot. And I guess the difficult part here is paano kung ang daming may kinalaman sa lahat ng nangyayari. So,
Bakit ka nahihirapan sa thought na yon na paano kung marami?
kasi there's this Moro Beats rap out right now, and there's a lyric. Ang tanong ay, sino nga bang nararapat managot? Katarungang hinahanap ay hawak din ng sangkot. So, very simple lyric, but how do we navigate this knowing na parang at every level merong kailangan managot? It's so difficult. It's so hard.
Nag-people power ka ba noong 1986?
Yes, I was 3 years old.
You were there?
My mom brought me. I have no memory.
No
I only
kidding.
know because I have a photo. Our dad took a photo of kaming tatlong magkakapatid, of my mom na nasa rally. So, I was 3, yung ate ko 6, yung kuya ko 9.
Wow.
So, hindi ko maalala anything, but when I see that picture, I told nga our mom the other day na parang, I guess it made an impression kasi ngayon, nandito ako ngayon. So
And
that's,
you're
I
doing
guess,
the
what I
same
hope
thing.
for my kids as well. Yeah.
So nung lumaki ka,
Yes.
were you more politically involved in any way?
No, I wasn't even SK. Hindi man lang ako yung parang class officer. Walang ganun talaga at all.
Pero were you aware of what was going on in government? Did you make a point at least? Kasi galing ka sa people power, dinala ka ng nanay mo doon,
Yeah.
kahit wala ka naintindihan.
Yeah.
Tumatak ba sa'yo na importante yung panahong yun at nasa bantay mode ang bansa moving forward.
Yeah.
Which you were, because essentially at that time you were growing up,
Yes.
right?
I realized it, I guess, later on na lang. Like when you study it in high school, parang, ito pala yun. Kasi I guess when you're a kid, hindi mo mag-grasp pa. So
Yeah.
slowly, when I was in high school, when I was in college, dun ko na na-connect the dots na parang, that's why pala in-expose kami ng parents ko sa mga ganito. They want us to know about it also.
So, dito sa Pilipinas kasi hindi naman tayo two-party system, Democrat, Republican, no? How do you identify yourself
Oh, God.
politically? I just wonder,
Yeah.
where do you stand in that
So hard.
spectrum? I ask because there's so many your age, millennials kayo,
Yes.
di ba? Na gusto namin malaman, saan ba mga millennials talaga dito?
I'm gitna ng Gen X and Millennial, so I identify
I
as
see.
Zennial. Wow. 1977
Ano pangalan ang tawag doon? Ang
1983.
tawag?
Di
Zennial?
umano, Zennial. X.
Oh.
X-E-N-N. It is 77 to 83. Yung parang na-experience pa namin yung analog life, and then nung medyo college, saka naging digital ang buhay. When I was younger, and I say maybe 20s type younger to 30s, ang tingin ko ay, as it is marketed, kulay. Yellow ka, red ka, ganyan. And definitely, I was raised na doon kami sa yellow. As attending the EDSA revolution, ganyan. But then, as I grew older, like you said, parang you realize na hindi naman siya talaga this or that. Pwede kang nasa gitna. And so now, I would say I'm in a place na more centrist. And it's hard to choose a side now if like your options, hindi ka din sure. So, I can't speak for my generation, pero I guess sa voting generation namin na-introduce ang sadly lesser evil choice. Parang sa generation of voters namin yun nauso eh. I did reach the elections of like mga Raul Roco, yung mga ganyang ano. And at that time, di ba, statesmen ang pagpipilian mo. So,
Voter ka na ba nun?
I think one election, yes.
Okay.
I remember. So, ang nauso in the past couple of elections, di ba, boboto mo yung lesser evil, which is not ideal, which is so sad, pero parang that was our generation.
Oh, that's so
Na naging
interesting. That's so true, no? So, how do you feel about that lesser of evils now that we're confronted with such a scale of corruption? I think everybody my age will agree, and we've been through a lot historically, politically. Is beyond comparison. It's beyond the pale. No?
Yes, I did watch your Guanzon, your other interviews. Sakit.
Anong nararamdaman ng katulad mo na do you find any direction that you think the country should take moving forward, or you will just watch and where are you people in this whole debate? I mean, what do you want to happen? Ano sa inyo ang dapat mangyari sa puntong ito?
Personally, I have no background in politics. Pol-sci was not even a favorite subject.
Bakit
So wala
naman?
akong alam. But I don't know the real solution. I believe that some of those in power, individuals like yourselves, will definitely have better solutions. But I do also honestly want to hear the generation after us, the Gen Zers who are coming into this fresh. I think kasi our generation, the millennials, may pagka-desensitized kasi we were already college when EDSA DOS happened. Ang dami na naman naming rally na puntahan na parang walang nangyari. So merong pagka-jaded, but at the same time, still hopeful kasi what choice do we have, diba? We can't not hope. So, I don't know the solution. I am not the person to ask. However, I am honestly very curious at what the Gen Z have to say, if they have any solution. Kasi obviously, yung mga ginawa ng henerasyon ko, parang hindi. Wala pa nangyayari.
Parang
So,
wala.
Yeah. Nagka-rally fatigue yata ang millennial generation.
Okay. Not that I remember that the millennials were doing rallies most of the time.
Ang
Okay.
naabutan lang namin was the PDAF rally in Luneta, the million peso march.
Okay.
The rally nung Marcos Sr. was buried in the libingan ng mga bayani. That was
EDSA
also a
DOS.
rally. That was after
Sa
EDSA
DOS ka na nun, di ba?
Yes, DOS. I was in
Yeah,
DOS.
yeah. Oo. But, okay, so dito sa issue ngayon, anong pinaka-ikinagalit mo, Bianca? What made you really mad and sick to the point where you just decided, no, I'm going to join that rally. It's
Yeah.
just so bad, you know?
Yeah. Siguro more than mad, it's the sick. It's the no remorse, the no accountability. Yung para bang when you watch like the mga hearings, ganyan, the numbers are like, what? So it's more that na parang kulang pa ba yung konting, like you said before, hindi naman ganun ka laki yung greed. The greed is just on a different scale and parang it feels so unfair that what other people will never even see in their lifetime, even if magtrabaho sila every single day of their life till the day they die, isusugal lang in one night na para bang wala lang. So, yun nakakasuka yun. Yeah.
What about on the social media landscape?
Yes.
Kasi nandyan ka eh. Ano yung mga ikinagalit ng mga, well, alam naman natin nagalit tayong lahat dun sa Diskaya, no? Nakita natin yung kanilang mga
Yeah.
28 luxury vehicles.
Yeah.
And yun na nga how ostentatious of a display of wealth that
Yeah.
was. Pero kasi alam mo, social media, yan naman ang hinangaan ng mga tao, yan naman ang finalo, di ba? Kasi bago pa pumutok itong corruption issues sa flood control projects, pumalo na ng mga 1 million na mga views yung mga yan.
Yeah.
Bago pa natin nalaman ha, illegal pala yung wealth nila, di ba?
Yes.
Hindi nyo ba to napansin or as an active part of social media, kailan kayo na-stir into some kind of a realization na there's something happening here na hindi natin pinapansin or hindi natin nalalaman?
I think there is a choice few like me na I am uneasy seeing that kind of luxury lifestyle flaunted in an economy like this. Pero that's just me. I think that's my sensitive self. Pero in general kasi, it was really when, I believe it was the documentary of Jessica Soho, when that came out, I think doon talaga nag-start mag-investigate ang netizens. Grabe sila, di ba? When that came out, sila na mismo yung nag-research ng mga past clips from past vlogs of influencers, flaunting their wealth, etc. So that was definitely a turning point. And one of the things I get to read now na pinakagalit yung mga tao, aside from yun nga, yung parang no remorse, walang ka-guilt dun sa mga ginawa, is the fact na ang laki ng kaltas every month sa sweldo. Tapos may penalty kapag hindi ka nakapagbayad ng tax on time. Tapos hahabulin ka kung hindi ka pa rin makapagbayad ng kakarampot na tax ng iisang tao versus napaka-lax na paghahabol sa mga kung sino man yung kumuha ng millions, billions of tax. I think more than anything, yun yung nababasa ko na pinaka naiinis yung tao. Di ba, there's so many calls for a tax break naman. So, yeah, a lot of people are
What about you?
understandably
How do you
upset.
feel?
Yeah, ayoko magbayad ng tax. Kung pwede lang. Ang sakit sa bulsa magbayad ng tax. Like, I always wish whenever I pay tax na parang, sana pwede yung ako magsasabi, gusto ko mapunta to sa classroom ng ganyan. Or gusto ko na ito mapunta to healthcare ng ganito. Yung if only we could choose, di ba, where the taxes we pay go. Pero sadly, hindi ganon. Masakit. You want to be a responsible citizen. So many do.
Yeah.
Pero alam mong ganyan lang yung nangyayari. So, ang hirap.
Binoto mo ba yung mga taong akala mo, gagastusin ang pera natin ng maayos?
Sa pagkakaalam ko, hindi, Your Honor. No, I did not.
Pero ka ba
I
mga
did
binoto
not.
na, you don't have to name names, pero
Yeah.
mga binoto ka ba na, alam mo yun, bago pumutok ito
Yeah.
happy ka ba sa kanila? Alam mo yun, parang,
Wala akong binoto na sangkot ngayon. Yeah, from what I remember.
so wala ka namang pinagsisisihan sa mga binoto mo at sinuportahan mo.
Wala
Kasi
akong
influencer ka,
yes.
Bianca, di ba? Parang meron kang suasion sa mga followers mo.
Oh, siya. No, none of who I voted for, thankfully, are in any of these issues. Pero sana sila din yung gagawa ng paraan na ma-unravel to at may managot.
So, does this make you rethink, halimbawa, how you vote? Kasi yan ang balik sa atin,
Yeah,
di ba? Na
yeah,
parang,
yeah.
binoto niya yung mga yan
Yeah. I guess now more than anything, I know na bago mangyari ang next elections, magiging part ako ng, I guess, resibo echoers.
Ano yun?
Meaning, kung may lumabas na issue dito sa isang tao to na tatakbo for a certain position, uy, huwag natin kalimutan, may ganito to dati, parang ganyan. So, I think yun ang magiging effect sa akin, if anything, to try to not forget and to try to remind other people before the next election.
But that's dipping, into politics directly, ha?
Yes.
Are you not afraid of the pushback?
I am, honestly, nung the era, if there's one thing I appreciate about this administration is that I feel like so many of us feel free to express our dissent without fearing a troll army coming after us. Because there were a few years na you'd want to speak up on social media but then sasabihin mo, kaya pa ba ng katinuan ko to? Kasi I know that if I click post on this, kakayanin ko ba the
Backlash, no?
The backlash, the bots, the passionate loyalists who will go against what I say. So, at that time, I remember, talagang choose your battles. Talagang lie low. But, ideally, di ba, in a democracy, we're able to all share
Ideally,
in an ideal world. Yeah, so yes, the fear never goes away, honestly. And honestly, nakaka-trauma yung fear, especially like the type of hate and bashing there was online before the 2022 elections. Nakaka-trauma siya pag binabalikan mo, but then like, you have to weigh now, worth it ba yung effort ko to speak up? And kaya ko ba to not speak up? I guess that's the question now.
Okay, so sa social media ba, wala kang mga nakikitang ka-debate mo, or do you engage, I guess, pag may sinabing ganito? Do you actually, because you're also an influencer, what if another influencer disagrees with your position, or you disagree with the position of a great influencer? Matapang ka ba to actually, go against that and stand your ground? Di naman mga aaway, pero sabihin mo lang, I disagree.
Yes. Yes. I don't do it though publicly. I know that like when I see them in real life, for example, I don't always agree with Richard Haydarian, but whenever we see each other in real life, like, ang ganda nung batuhan kasi like, you respect each other even if magkaiba kayo ng pinaniniwalaan. So again, in an ideal world, ganun talaga na kahit na magkaiba kayo, pwedeng you can still talk properly about it.
But not on social media.
No. Many years ago, I would make patol to some people, but I've learned throughout the years na sometimes people will answer you just to get you upset, and if sumagot ka, ikaw ang talo. So now I just read comments. I click a heart react if I agree. Also so they know na nabasa ko without necessarily having to reply.
But that's because ayaw mo nung effect ganon sa'yo.
No naman. I think with people who, for example, answer opinion of yours, you can see, or at least now, I can tell whether asarin ka lang at gusto ka lang galitin and sure na siya sa isip niya, or I've actually gotten into DM conversations with people I don't agree with, and then similarly, like, okay, ganyan pala yung tingin mo, thank you for sharing with me, I respect what you believe, but sa akin, ito. So, it happens via DM sometimes. And nakakagulat, minsan, actually not minsan, a lot of times, sobra nilang mean in the actual reply. Pero when you DM them, sasabihin nila, ay, sorry, Miss Bianca, nadala lang ako ng emosyon, no? And then you try to engage with them respectfully, and then sobra din nilang marespeto. So, those are times na I feel like it's a little win and worth it yung sagot ko online.
So ano mga tip mo sa mga kaedad mo, no? Sa mga ka-generation mo ng mga Zennials? Kung paano ba mag-engage sa social media nang hindi na uuwi sa divisiveness, no?
Yeah.
Kasi parang ang nangyayari nga, talagang nagiging nasisplit tayo at nawawala tuloy yung focal issue dapat, no? Which is, kunyari ngayon, corruption ang issue eh.
Yeah.
I'm sure pagdating sa issue ng corruption, di ba?
Yeah.
Abay, nagbubuklod naman tayo dyan. I mean,
correct.
we're one in
Yes.
fighting corruption, right? Ang kalaban lang natin dito, talaga yung mga tiwali.
Yes.
Pero ang nangyayari nga ngayon, nagkakaroon na ng party lines, even on the topic of corruption, no? Nagiging politicized. And I find that very sad kasi nga, taka lang, sandali, wala nang kinalaman sa parti-partido to, tsaka kung sino ng presidente ko sa 2028, kung sino man yun, di ba? Ang pinag-aawayan natin ngayon yung corruption, kung anong gagawin. Nararamdaman ba yan ng mga Zennials, Millennials, and the Gen Zs from your reading of what's happening in social media?
Yes, I do see that. Pero from my perspective, mas marami pa rin yung tao na hindi pumipili ng sides and who just see na, hindi, corruption yung kalaban dito. The thing is with social media, and si Maria Ressa talks about this a lot, diba, is that the way it's built is it amplifies the messages with hate. So minsan, akala natin, puro hate na, or puro, pro Duterte, pro Marcos, pro Lenny, pro whoever. And then aawayin yung kabilang side, whoever that side is. Yun yung mas napupush ng algorithm, yun yung mas nakita, yun yung mas madaming views, madaming likes, because of the hate component. Pero like when you go out naman and talk to actual people, or like in the rally, for example, it's not about a certain person and trying to bring down that certain person. It's like, hanapin niyo kung sinong karap at sila yung managot. Yeah.
So what do you do as an influencer, knowing that that's your platform, di ba? I mean, I know you're also in the legacy media. Legacy na nga tawag, di ba?
Iba na yung
I mean, in the broadcast media, di ba? But now, I mean, you are an influencer in that space.
To be honest, I'm so uneasy when I'm called that. I guess kasi I'm of the generation na hindi pa yun term, hindi pa yun thing. I think that with my job and the way I used social media, parang naging automatic na kung ano yung i-post ko, merong some sort of influence sa ibang tao.
Of course,
I honestly think that as cheesy as this may sound, anyone with a social media platform is an influencer. Someone with 10 followers on TikTok can suddenly go viral because of a rally clip. And 10 million people view that clip, that's an influencer. So I don't think it's really about the...
Yeah, but there are degrees of influence.
Yes,
I mean, you know.
I don't think it's about the number na following. I think anyone who has a platform, merong same responsibility ko, and how I navigate it. Gosh, I'm still learning. Honestly, it's so difficult. Like, I do know that, and I often say this, that especially in our industry, for example, may isang tao na nasa TV na artista na model or works with brands, influencer. I truly believe that that number of following, pag nabiyayaan ka nun, you're not only supposed to use it for yourself or for things you'd like to promote, but everyone has to use it talaga with a purpose, and hopefully that purpose is tied to caring about issues that people go through, that the country goes through. So I'm happy to see more and more younger artists using their social media to speak up as well, and sana more pa. That's honestly my wish.
Talaga, dumarami na. And they're, baka naman mga, sabihin nga nila, mga kakamping niya yan eh. Kasi that's where you are, right?
Yes.
So, what about the other side, nagalit sa mga kakamping? I mean, meron din nun, di ba?
Yes, absolutely. I cannot erase the people I've supported before. Parang part na yan eh. I think for me, it's part and parcel. Especially parang pag public figure ka, you attend the rallies, you campaign for someone. Ano na yun eh, part na yun. That's, may digital footprint ka na din na hindi na mawawala. You're forever identified to that. Although ako naman, I refuse to be boxed by that. Meaning, if meron ibang tao naman na worthy of support, whether or not they're in the same party or camp, susuportahan natin anyone who wants to do good in that sense. Yeah.
So, you're not feeling hopeless naman. How do the youth, well, not that you're that youthful, but I mean, you still are, ha? You look youthful. You don't look like
Hindi
you're...
na ako sa youth category. Pero, yeah, I mean, I get that question a lot, honestly. Parang how do you not lose hope? And for me, I always and often feel helpless, lalo na during times like this. Parang anong magagawa natin to fix it? Like, we're just an ordinary citizen. The problem is so big. What can we all do? Nakaka-helpless talaga ng feeling. Pero I never once lost hope. I don't know if it's me as a person or it's just, I feel like, what other choice do we have? Do I just not hope? Hindi siya choice for me eh. Especially I have young kids. I know that kung anong magagawa ko to hopefully help build their future na hindi na ito yung mga problema, I will do.
Sa edad mong yan, pwede ka pa mag-abroad or your family. And many young people are now thinking of doing that. No? Parang feeling kasi nila, wala na yata akong future dito.
Ang dami.
Ikaw ba personally, do you feel that, you know, that's a tempting option?
Yeah.
And that you would grab it if, you know, somebody gave you an opportunity?
You know, that's a very personal question to me kasi tatlo kaming magkakapatid. My brother lives in the US, my sister lives in London. So sa tatlo sa amin, 2 have decided to live abroad.
Ikaw lang ang andito?
Ako lang ang nandito. And
was that by choice?
It is by choice. Sila din by choice. They wanted to pursue better opportunities for my brother as well, a better future for his kids. My brother actually migrated maybe over 15 years ago, and a big chunk of that, 15 years ago na to, he said, gusto ko, if I'm gonna work, yung mga tax ko, mapupunta sa magandang public school, public healthcare, and I want my kids to experience that. So imagine us, doon pa lang, yun na yung reasoning niya, and now here we still are. So ako naman, I have definitely been tempted. At may time na nauso yung mga golden visa. May time na nauso, meron din yung parang apply for Spanish residency through passport chuchu. Of course, you're tempted kasi you want not even for me and my husband, for the kids. Yung parang, ano kaya option nila sa future na pwede? Pero, we didn't pursue any of those, and I feel like, I guess it's tied to the hope. I still have so much hope na meron at merong, I don't want to use the word pagbabago kasi nakakapagod. But meron at merong pag-asa for things to be better here in the country. And I want to be part of that. I want to see that when that happens.
Oh, that's really admirable. But I guess, what can you say to those who really want to just leave?
Yeah. I can't blame them. Honestly, I have several friends who are really looking at options, lalo na para sa mga anak nila. I can't. I mean, like, I totally understand the decision. Hindi ako magpapaka hypocrite and say, no, don't leave. Wala, you understand why they want to leave. Sad, but understandable, absolutely.
And even, this is what I noticed, no? Trend ngayon, lalo na sa mga may kaya, na ipadala na yung mga anak nila sa abroad,
To study.
mag-aral.
Yes.
Hindi na ngayon sapat ang Ateneo. Hindi na sapat ang UP. I mean, wala na, no? Parang sa kanila, dapat sa London magtapos or sa one of the Ivy League schools. Anong thoughts mo dyan, being a young mother?
Yeah, my husband and I have talked about that also. Although grade 4 pa lang yung panganay namin. We are open to it, for sure.
But why? Why do you feel the need to send them to another country to study?
I know, right? Diba? Bakit pa natin yun iniisip?
Yun nga eh.
How sad. Well, my husband and I are very proud and happy Ateneans, and we'd love for our children to eventually go to college there as well. Pero ang lagi namin na pag-usapan ng husband ko is, when that time comes, it's our children's choice. Like, kung sabihin nila gusto nila mag-aral dito, then we'll support that. Kung sabihin nila gusto nila ng opportunity abroad, then we'll support that as well. I personally, option siya sa amin because the world is getting more global. The borders are going down, especially with AI. And so feeling lang namin, it's not because we don't trust in the educational system of Ateneo or UP and other universities. It's because parang lumawak yung mundo nila kung sakasakaling makapag-aral sila, even for a short time abroad. But the risk is, minsan, pag nag-aral sila doon na nila gusto
hindi na babalik. Kaya ngayon ang tanong ko, parang, do you see that trend?
Yeah.
I mean, staying with us for a time to come, if not permanently, no? Parang, kumbaga talagang, this is super brain drain.
Yes. Ang dami ko nang nakatrabaho dito na I'd say they're from the generation younger than me, maybe 10 years younger. Really great individuals, creatives, freelancers, and then they choose to study abroad, and then they'll stay abroad. And again, parang you can't blame them. Mas okay din yung sweldo. Yung ratio ng sweldo to cost of living is better, more doable. Tapos, they can take public transport. Okay yung healthcare. So talagang, ang hirap kasi you can't blame them for making that decision. But yun nga, when it comes to our kids, malayo pa kaya ayaw ko pang isipin, but we'll leave it up to them. But yun nga, I guess that's why, going back to the start of our conversation, that's why we would like to instill in them a love for countries, because whatever happens, sana hindi yun mawala sa kanila.
Yun na nga eh. So, ang challenge nga sa inyo, because you're the ones bringing up the next generation of leaders, no? But if they're all gonna go away and you're gonna leave it to them to choose to go away if they so want, abay, wala na matitira dito. Baka dregs na ang matira dito, di ba?
Grabe, no? We'll take it one step at a time, for sure. But that's a absolutely valid point. If every parent in my generation has this worry and this thought and this option to do that, ang hirap.
So you don't feel the need to really actively tell them, hey, you know, the Philippines is still your country, ito pa rin ang bayan mo, at kahit mag-abroad ka, sige, mag-aral ka doon, pero bumalik ka dito, magsilbi ka. Kasi dati, yun ang kinalakihan ko eh. Kaya nga yung UP naming mahal, yung school anthem, yung university anthem, malayo man ang marating, di ba? wag lilimutan, balik ka dito. And even Winnie Monsod, those were her parting words to nag-retire siya.
Yes.
You know, go abroad if you want, but, you know, give back to this country.
Yeah.
Do you think that your generation is doing enough of that? I'm concerned because, you know, your kids are the next generation.
Yeah.
Ikaw, tapos ka na nga kung tutuusin. This is
Yeah.
it, man. We're still mired in corruption in this country. But,
Yeah.
you know, the next generation,
Yeah.
they're the ones who might feel, you know, the Philippines, man, it's not the place to live.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's why the next 5-10 years are really make or break, because by the time a decade from now, that's when my kid has to decide anong gusto niyang gawin sa buhay niya. And so, I can't speak for what the future holds, honestly. And again, in an ideal world, lahat ng pag-voice out, pag-rally, may mapupuntahan. Yeah, I mean, it makes, di ba, yan yung sabi ko when you were saying that, I was like, see, ito na naman yung helplessness, it's creeping in. But like, what, we have to keep fighting it, kasi kundi, like you said, everyone's just gonna leave.
So there is hopelessness, no?
I feel there's helplessness, a lot of hopelessness, pero I would like to be I guess, a hope holder, na sana if anyone comes across this conversation or sees any post of ours on social media, a reel from this episode, they'll say na, yeah, meron pang hope. Meron pang hope. It's not time to give up.
Thank you for watching. If you like what you just saw, please like and subscribe.